But what I want to do tonight is I just want to go 4 levels. So what we're going to do is we're just going to ask one question. The first question, level 1 question is, if God is all loving and all powerful, why evil? I mean, that's what Christians are asked more than anyone else, because we say God is all loving. We say he's all powerful. We say he's all knowing. So if so, why evil? Why did he allow this? How could this possibly happen? How could a perfect being directly create anything broken? And our first level response. So what I'm going to do is that's the first question. That's our first level. And my first response to that is going to be, God didn't cause evil. Evil is a byproduct of misuse of free will in the creature. That's the whole core. Why did God create evil? God didn't create evil. From a biblical perspective, God created a good thing called freedom. It was the misuse of that good thing called freedom that brought about the monkey wrench that we're calling evil. See, evil can't arise directly from God, who is perfect, but it can arise indirectly when God makes a good thing called a good creature. As soon as God made a free moral agent, a creature that could choose, as soon as God made a good thing called freedom, and by the way, freedom is a good thing. I don't see anyone saying, down with freedom, back to bondage, I want to do everything my mother tells me. I've never run into anyone, all right? And even if you said, I hate freedom, you value your freedom to hate it, don't you? See, your freedom is good. Freedom's a good thing. Nobody's going to say, I hate freedom, because they're expressing their freedom to say that. See, we all love freedom. We know what freedom is. Well, guess what? The biblical response is, why did God make evil? He didn't make evil. He created a good thing called freedom. It was the misuse of that in the creature that brought about the monkey wrench. Now that's something very interesting to think about. God gave the fact of freedom. Men perform the acts of freedom. Big distinction there. So God made evil possible by creating a free creature, but he didn't make evil actual. That was done by the creature. All right. Someone says, oh, well, okay, well, that sounds fancy. Okay, God didn't do it directly. Right. He created a good thing called freedom, and the free creature screwed it up. That's right. Okay, then that brings us to the second level. Okay, God didn't do it. All right, well, the second level is, well, why did he allow it? If he knows everything, he knew what was going to happen, right? If God is all-knowing as well as all-loving and all-powerful, then he would know what was going to happen. Why did he allow it to happen? That brings us to our second level. And we're going to say God, being love, had to allow free will, because true love cannot exist without free will to choose. Now, there's a young man, and he's at the end of a particularly magnificent date with that lovely young thing. He's taken out, and he says, did you have a wonderful time? And she goes, yes, I did. And he goes, oh, well, I'm so glad you enjoyed the movie. Oh, yes, I did. Good. Now, just one more thing. Love me. Love me. No, I wouldn't recommend that. All right? Now, it's possible that she really loves your eyes and loves your manner and really had a good time, and that she chooses to love you. But you know what? Forced love is not love. Forced love is rape. And God is not a divine rapist. See, for free will, for love to exist, free will must exist. It's like love and marriage and Annie, get your gun. You can't have one without the other. People say, well, I want love. Well, if you want to be loved and valuable and treated as an end in and of yourself, then you must have freedom to choose. And when you have freedom to choose with regard to love, you may say, no, I hate your eyes, I hate your face, I hate your life, get out of here. Or you could say, I love your nose, I love your eyes, I love your face. Baby, you're wonderful. See, for why did God allow evil? Well, he didn't create it directly. That was a misuse of freedom in the creature. Okay, well, how come he allowed it? Because he wanted love. To have true love, you need a true moral agent who is truly free, who may tell you to go hang it in your ear. That's possible. See, when you're dealing with free moral agents, they may say, I don't like you and I never want to talk to you again. Now, that's the risk. Now, people say, well, couldn't God... what if he just made everybody perfect and little robots? Oh, well, is love possible there? God looks over the ramparts of heaven. Adam, do you love me? Yes, God, I love you. Okay, that's not love. That's not a free moral agent. That's an automaton robot. Can you have a relationship with an automaton? As attractive as they are, you can't have a love relationship with a robot because there's no freedom. There's no possibility. And people say, would God risk so much? Yes. If you want love, there must be free will to choose. And freedom isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. But along with freedom comes the possibility that someone's going to bop somebody in the head, somebody's going to pull out in traffic, somebody's not going to agree with your point of view. See, whenever you multiply free agents, you get trouble. You know this. The more people you deal with, the more... it's like herding cats. You know that one. So number one, how come God made evil if he's so loving? But he didn't make evil. He can't. He's perfect. A perfect stream can't bring forth a bitter taste. But listen, with God, in his instance, in order for him to create, he had to create free moral agents if there was to be true consciousness and love. But along with that, there's the possibility that someone may just say, I don't want you. See, some people avoid ever having children because they're terrified of the thought that they actually might have a child that will not return their love, that may not love them back, that may say to hell with you and everything you represent, and I never want to see you again. I see it all the time. It is a drawback. We hide from love because we don't want to get hurt. And I'm telling you, God, in a big cosmic sense, understands the drama because he's the originator of freedom. So, okay, did God make evil? No, directly. No, he didn't. He created a good thing called freedom that was misused. Okay. But how come he allowed it in the first place? Because you can't have true love without freedom. All right? Does that make sense? It's not love. Whatever you think it is, it's not love unless someone's free to leave you. No, that brings to the third level. Okay. God didn't do it. Evil is a byproduct of a misuse of free will in the creature. Okay, I can understand that. Okay, secondly, why did God even allow it? Because being love, he had to allow free will. True love can't exist without free will to choose. Okay, but third, but the consequences of free choice? Why so much evil? I mean, come on, can't. I mean, look, it's so horrible. I mean, people make free choices and they kill other people and they run them over intentionally and they are terrorists and they blow bombs off on their chest. And I mean, the consequences, should consequences really be allowed? Why couldn't God just stop consequences? Or let people do evil acts, but our response to that one is going to be no. No, if it's truly a free act, then the consequences bound up in the act have to be allowed. Now, my kids are smart. But let me say my son Grant. What if I say Grant? No, he's 4 years old, Grant. Now, your mother has better things to do. I don't want you to turn flower pots over because you get dirt on the rug and water everywhere and your mother has better things to do. Don't do that. And as soon as I leave the room, Grant takes the water pot and inverts it, okay? But at the last minute, I come up through the floor carrying a barrel and I catch all the dirt and I catch all the water. I abrogate the consequence of his choice. And then he thinks, oh, Dad's pretty smart. And then he runs in the other room and he grabs another flower pot and he looks around to see where I am and he goes to invert it and I swoop down from the ceiling and I capture all of that water and I take all the dirt and I abrogate the... See, after a while, this is going to become a game to him. See, what new ingenious way will Daddy intervene and remove utterly the consequence to my actions? And then it's not a moral issue anymore. It's not a moral relationship. It's a game. It's a circus. Guess what? Consequences follow from actions. And if you're a free moral agent and you can really choose, then you can really be responsible for the damage that flows from your choices, whether you're ruining the lives of children, other people in relationship, whatever it is. Yes, we're saying, well, but couldn't God just abrogate the consequences? No, then you've destroyed the freedom.